Hi, babies. Tax resistance, what's technically called war tax resistance, has been a bit of a hot topic on the Instagrams. And I have some things I want to say. So I'm going to make a series of videos about it. This is the first one. I'm going to do a little framing, and then and then I'll make a couple more with some more pieces of information and some more thoughts when I feel like it. I'm a little burnt out, honestly. Chai, calmate. This is Chai's first video, so we'll see how she does. Yeah, so anyway, okay. Here's what I want to say. Number one, couple big things. Number one, resisting. I feel like no matter what order I say this in, somebody's gonna get upset before they have all the information. So I would suggest that you listen to all the things I'm gonna say before you say anything. Number one, resisting your personal financial organization, your personal finances, is not resisting capitalism. That has been true. Stop licking me. That has been, you know, I've been saying that, right? And here we come across an example with war tax resistance that reminds me or harkens back to shelter in place stimulus times, where actually in order to engage in, well, this is like financial resistance. At that time, it was sort of like, you know, the US government's experimentation with a sort of socialist project. In order to engage with that, you actually have to have your finances organized, and you kind of never know when something like this might arise. So I'm also gonna say, not only is resisting your personal finances not destroying capitalism, not the same as resisting capitalism, it is also often going to put you in a place where you're not ready to go and do something that your heart is telling you to do, or you want to be able to kind of like utilize or put in place because you are not ready. You are sitting in a mess, right? No shame ever, but this is the facts, right? So people are starting to talk, you know, about tax resistance. And I'm gonna say this, the people who are talking about tax resistance, AKA all of y'all on the internet, I've been talking to you guys about taxes and money for 10 years, and I know some things about you. And one of the things I know is that there's a massive tendency in these communities. I say that I work with healers, hustlers, and creatives. So I'll say like, that's my, you know, who I'm kind of talking to, towards avoidance in finance, right? And even people who are like pretty organized or kind of organized, there's still some layers of avoidance. So number one, I'm gonna say, just because I help people with this, and if you want to work on your money stuff, get in my money coven. That's just period. We're doing that, period dot. We're doing that all the time. You know, every single day, there's a coven of people working on money, healing their financial shadows. So this is financial shadow work. So going back, or get my book or whatever. Okay. But I've been talking to you guys about money for a long time, especially with taxes. Avoidance is huge. Confusion is huge. No shame on any of these things, right? Because it's all interconnected with financial shadows, which we know is trauma, societal trauma, capitalism, colonialism, all these things are all playing a part. Our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, like in light of those things, all playing a part. I'm not here to say I'm mad at you or you're a bad person because of the way that you're engaging these things, but I am here to say, like, I know for a fact many people in this community are engaging in avoidance around their finances, personal finances, by which I mean budgeting, I mean taxes, etc. So that's just that. And there's absolutely no way that the idea of tax resistance is not appealing on multiple levels. And one of those levels is going to be like, yeah, I've never wanted to do taxes, which is part of why I've resisted it. And fuck these people, and I'm not doing them. Here's the thing, actually though, not doing your taxes. So many things I want to say at one time. Okay, ADHD brain. Not doing your taxes, just not doing them, is not war tax resistance. In order to do war tax resistance, we are talking about filing your taxes. We are talking about filing them on paper, like via the mail system, with additional forms printed out, indicating intentionally that this is taxes that are not being paid, or a symbolic percentage of taxes are not being paid for the purpose of war tax resistance. I'm not going to talk anymore about that, but I'll tag the Tax Resistance Collective, and I'll talk about it more in a further video. Okay, so number one, even if you want to do war tax resistance, you have to be organized. Number two, I want to say the same people who feel like I don't want to do my taxes because of war also just don't want to do their taxes in general. And I know this because I've talked to thousands and thousands and thousands of you guys over the last decade. Again, no shame. I don't want to do my taxes either, you know, for multiple reasons, all the same reasons that you don't want to do them. But this is not, so here's where we're getting into the shadow work. This is not, war tax resistance is not a kind of cop out on doing your taxes. It's not an easy way to like not do your taxes and have it be purposeful and have it be emotionally fulfilling. That's actually not what it is. So in order to do war tax resistance, you have to actually file your taxes with additional forms by mail. And the reason for this is because plenty of people just don't do their taxes, and there's no political impact of that really, right? So, you know, the stats just, and these are stats that are pulled from blogs over the last like multiple couple of years. So, you know, this is not a court case. This is not a debate case. This is like to get a little bit of framing, right? 168 million tax returns filed in the US last year, basically, in an average year, okay? Estimated 7 to 10 million people just don't file. They just don't file. I know plenty of these people. I've been these people. You might be these people. It's just like, it just didn't happen. It's like you're gonna, but you just haven't, right? And 19 million extensions filed last year. So there's not, okay. And in the latest interview that I heard pre this year, with a member from the National War Tax Resistance Coordinating Committee, again, there's no tracking. They don't know how many people are engaging in war tax resistance, but given how many people visit their website and certain like tracking, their estimation is about 10,000 people doing war tax resistance, say last year, right? So this number is quite small. So even if 1 million of y'all or 10 million of y'all like didn't file your taxes or didn't pay, and that's the other thing, right? It's not don't file your taxes, it's not paying your taxes. So war tax resistance actually does require you to file your taxes and not pay them. So anyway, you have to do that in order to be registered in any kind of politically significant way. Otherwise, you're gonna get lumped in just with people who are just not filing their taxes. And sure, people not filing their taxes like could, you know, slightly increasing, like if that number was like 7 to 10 million and then it went up to like 11 million, like perhaps this is going to start registering on the federal government radar of like, we should be concerned about this. But we're talking like a years long process of them like even registering that information, the information getting transferred from the IRS to the federal government, like, you know, them taking it seriously enough to do something about it, it potentially like registering as a form of protest, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying that if you're gonna do it, you need to understand what it is, how it works, and you need to do it effectively. So this is not just do not file your taxes. This is not an excuse to not file your taxes. This actually requires a higher level organization and implementation, including the strategies about reducing your taxes as much as possible. That definitely requires organization and all that too, especially if you're self-employed. And self-employed people kind of have the most opportunity to engage in that type of war resistance as well. So I'm gonna leave it on that for right now. Yeah, that's what we're gonna say for tonight. So again, if you want to start working on money stuff, you want to be working on your financial shadow work, get in my programs, buy my book, go, I don't know, watch videos for free on YouTube, whatever you want to do. But I, once again, I'm here to say, like, I truly think that getting organized and staying organized with your personal finances makes you a more impactful member of a resistance society. That's my personal take. Okay, we're saying bye. 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 Oh, I wanted to say I got these really cute earrings from this very cute jewelry vendor in the Mission at the Lover's Lane event. Her name was Christina, but I don't know what her Instagram is. So if anyone knows Christina Nava, who is vending at Lover's Lane and wants to tag them in this video, that's where these earrings are from, and they're really cute. Okay, have a good day. Bye.